Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2, and I honestly think it's safe to say towards the end, Liverpool caught life. Now, before any Liverpool fans attack me, I am an Arsenal fan. I'm a very neutral football fan, and I'm a very honest football fan. So I'm going to go through the positives of the game and what I thought throughout the game, the positives that I found, and the good things first. And then we're going to get into more of the critiquing side. And I'm not going to be banterous. I'm not going to overdo it. I'm just going to be brutally honest and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the opening game of the Premier League. So, first things first, Hugo Ekitike. I think he's absolutely amazing. I think he's a baller. If anything, I feel like Newcastle missed a trick not selling Isak to Liverpool and then getting Ekitike, because in my opinion, as he grows into this league, he's going to look like a like for like and a cheaper option for Liverpool, and a younger option at that too, that could potentially become just as good as Alexander Isak with his reputation. Already got a goal and an assist in the opening game. I think he's absolutely good, amazing. I love Alexander Isak. I'm one of those that got caught up in the whole Thierry Henry thing, and before he had joined Newcastle, me and my friends always used to look at highlights, and I always used to say he's the one player that reminds me of Thierry, even at Sociedad. So with all due respect to Thierry, so the fact that Liverpool haven't quite gotten him yet and maybe won't get him, they don't really have anything to worry about, man, because Hugo Ekitike is the real deal. The next thing I wanted to speak about, which I thought was a positive, is McAllister. He kept the game ticking quite well. Very positive game from him, playing the ball forward. You know, the things that we all expect, people that actually watch football can expect from Alexis McAllister. He was good as well. Salah got his goal in the end, was a bit quiet, but again, that didn't matter because unlike last season, Liverpool were showing that they have equal threat now, not only centrally, but on the left with Ekitike incorporating Gakpo into the game too. So Salah can ghost in a game. He can disappear, and Liverpool can now churn out results, get more goals, and just be a lot more impactful from the central and the left side of the pitch, which is, you know, a positive for them. If Salah ghosts, it doesn't necessarily mean Liverpool will have a high chance of dropping points anymore. So, very good offensive performance from Liverpool. I'm not too sure on Florian Wirtz. I'm not going to say anything yet because I feel like he needs time to adjust to the league. And a great goal from Chiesa, great technique on the goal, a bit jammy. But, I mean, I know Liverpool to historically get jammy goals. It is what it is. That's not really a stain because you still need the instinct to take that shot and have the technique in that shot. So, overall good performance, and he did rescue the game for them because I'm not going to lie. A 2-2 draw at home on day one, that could have gotten very spooky. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. I think I've gone over all the positives. Yeah, we're going to get onto the more, critical side of the game now, because I want to keep this short. Liverpool in transition don't look the most hard to break down in transition. And I say that because although Dominic Szoboszlai is playing a bit more of a box-to-box role, naturally, that is not his game. That is not his bag. He's not going to be a box-to-box mid on the level of, and don't get vexed at me when I say this, but Declan Rice, or like a Reinders, because those two players seem to have a bit more of a defensive arsenal in their game, and one of them is naturally a DM being played as an 8. So Szoboszlai in this box-to-box role when he's typically been like a playmaker, shadow striker type deal. I don't know how that's going to work, but their midfield, against any decent midfield, they get absolutely ran through the ground. And I think what Arne Slot's going to have to do in the bigger games is balance the midfield a lot better. You may have to not play Wirtz in some of these games and have McAllister, Szoboszlai, and then like a DM that you can still get in this window. There's players out there. You do not need Isak. Allocate those funds to get a proper DM, and then we'll be talking. Then you can talk about incorporating Wirtz on the wing and everything. But that midfield, against a decent midfield with runners, will get completely ran through the ground, or even a double pivot. We've seen that with City. We've seen Arsenal run a double pivot. Tottenham's midfield, they have runners all over the gaff, and they might be getting Eberechi Eze. those types of midfields and Chelsea's midfield, they would run rings around that midfield setup that we saw today against Bournemouth. Lots of loose balls, lots of balls being spilled, lots of transitions were happening in the event of the midfield losing the ball and being too light-footed on the ball and not having enough, impact on the ball, or for lack of a better term, I think the term I'm looking for is a bit intent, a bit light-footed in that area. So, I feel like in transition, that midfield is absolute food, and Arne Slot's going to have to figure that out. Another criticism would be, for me, Jeremy Frimpong, but we all know defensively he's not really good. His game is more about getting forward. I see that Ibrahimo Konate fills out that right half space when Frimpong pushes forward, but he wasn't even good enough for the transition down that side for the first goal that Bournemouth got back. And that's the next player I'm going to get onto, Konate. Yikes. Not a good game from him today. Is his head in Madrid? Is his head elsewhere? How does he feel about his current contract situation? Is it just a one-off game? Everybody knows Konate on his day is a class player. He's not better than William Saliba. We need to stop that conversation. He's not. But on his day, he is a very, very class player. Today was not his day. He got absolutely cooked, and he kept having to drift wide and cover for Frimpong. I personally don't think that's going to work out in his favour. I feel like even at Leipzig, from his Leipzig days, he played as the middle piece when it was him, Mukiele and Upamecano. It was Konate that was in the middle, and he was best in the middle defending amongst those three. I remember those three were all at Leipzig together. They were absolutely great defensively. And, for such a good defender, Konate is a good defender, physical beast. Not as good as VVD aerially, but again, who is, other than maybe like Gabriel. And I just feel like he, the tabloids and all the media will say that his head is elsewhere, but it could just be a one-off game. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but not a good game from him today. Alisson had a good game, great sweeper-keeper performance, some really good long balls out. Kirkes, all right. They put Semenyo on him to aerially bully him. And for someone that I didn't really see to have many weaknesses, I was surprised to see Kirkes getting bullied the way he did. He has lost a bit of weight since joining Liverpool as well. He doesn't look as physically imposing as he was at Bournemouth. But again, that might just be how Slot has him, because maybe he feels like he could be a bit more quicker on his feet. He made some great forward runs. The ball wasn't being laid off to him from Cody Gakpo. Maybe they just got to build chemistry there. But Kirkes is a good overlapping fullback, in my opinion. Anyone else I could talk about? I think Jabozlai was good today. The standout midfielder for me was McAllister. The standout player was Hugo Ekitike. Brilliant player. And yeah, if I was part of the Liverpool board, I think the one thing I would say is, do we really need to allocate that much money on Isak? Or do we go out there and either try and go for a Carlos Baleba, who Brighton have said that he's not going to go anyway, but everyone has a price, or with the money that you have, do you just go out there and buy who would have been good? Palhinha. Palhinha would have been great for Liverpool, in my opinion, in their system. Or, just go out there and get yourselves a DM. It's like, I don't think Liverpool need Isak. Good win for them. Salah on his weak foot. Nice finish. And yeah, man, those are my raw thoughts about the game. And in transition, there is a problem. And that problem, before the window's closed, needs solving. Isak is not the one. The Isak signing, it's like, for lack of a better term, it's like trying to blow up a building that's already blown up. It's like trying to knock out somebody or knock out an issue that has already been knocked out cold. I don't think Liverpool need him. I think Ekitike's class. And yeah, man, those are my thoughts on the Liverpool game. This is a brand new football channel here. Whether I put out neutral views. You know, I'm not biased. I don't like to run banter. I just want this to be a place where we can speak honestly about football. And that's what I'm here for. So Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, wherever you support, you're all welcome here, man. And yeah, if you guys are new around here, make sure to subscribe. This is my second video. And, you know, I hope to see you guys for all my reviews and all of the madness that we're going to be covering for this Premier League weekend. The Premier League is back, and I thoroughly enjoyed that game. See you guys in the next one.